Here is the second video for section 7a. In this one, we are going to be talking about odds. So remember, probability is when we look at the number of ways that something can happen divided by the sample size, or the total number of possible outcomes. So just as a reminder, let's let W equal wins, and let's say that's the number of ways that your event can happen. And let's let T represent the total, or the sample size, the total number of possible outcomes. So maybe for an example, a win would be rolling an even number on a six-sided die. So there's three even numbers, there's 2, 4, and 6. And then the total would be the 6 sides on the die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then the probability of an event is the wins, the number of ways that our event can happen, divided by the total. So for rolling an even number, there's 3 ways it can happen, divided by the total, to give us a probability of 3/6. A hidden value that we don't often use is the losses, and that's the number of ways that our event can fail to happen. So how can we figure out losses if we know the total and we know the wins? Well, if something's not a win, then it's a loss. So if we take the total minus the ways we can get a win, everything that's left over is going to be a loss. So our loss can be calculated by doing the total minus wins. And note that the total is just wins plus losses. So as long as we have 2 of these values, we can solve for the other one. Since everything's either a win or a loss, add them together, you get the total. Subtract one from the other, you get the other value. So odds are going to look at the same values that we use as in probability, but in a different way. And this time we're comparing something to its opposite rather than its total. So odds are representing a ratio. So we say the odds of wins to losses would be the number of ways we could win to the number of ways we could lose. So maybe if we're playing a game and we're rolling the die, maybe in order to win the game we need to roll a 6. And 6 is the only number we can roll to win. Well, there's 1 6 on the die and there's 5 other numbers. So the odds of winning would be 1 to 5. There's 1 way to win, there's 5 ways to lose. Or if we wanted to find the odds of losses to wins, in that same example, there's 5 ways to lose to 1 way to win, so it'd be 5 to 1. So again, we're comparing wins to losses rather than wins to the total. So it's easy if we know any of these values to convert back and forth between probabilities and odds. Let's look at an example. Let's say that we have an 8-sided die, and we know the probability of rolling a red dot is 2 out of 8. So that tells us that 2 of the sides are red out of 8 total sides, since probability is wins to the total. So we know that there are 2 wins, 2 ways to win, and there's 8 total possibilities. And again, if something's not a win, then it's a loss. So to figure out the number of losses, we take our total minus wins, so 8 minus 2 says that there are 6 other sides that are not red, so those 6 other sides are losses. So if we want to know the odds for rolling a red dot, it's 2 to 6, because there's 2 sides with red, and there's 6 sides with some other color, which means we would lose. If we wanted the odds for not rolling a red die, well, there's 6 sides that aren't red to the 2 sides that are. Another example. Let's say the odds against Ziggy winning the game of Sorry are 7 to 2. Now we want to find the probability that he will win. So this one we're starting off in odds and converting to probability. In the previous example, we started in probability and converted to odds. So we're seeing it both ways. All right, so the odds against winning are 7 to 2. That tells us that there's 7 ways he could lose, and there are 2 ways that he could win. So our total is going to be wins plus losses, 7 plus 2, which equals 9. So now if we want to find the probability he will win, now we're going to compare the number of ways to win divided by the total. So the probability of winning is 2 out of the 9. And remember, in probability, leave everything as unreduced fractions. Same things with odds. Don't try to reduce those numbers, just leave them as they are.